to infinity and beyond.
Or at least at 10 a.m. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. KZOZ-FM San Luis Obispo.
One strike away. Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. A perfect game.
5-2 Dodgers in the ninth. Got him. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets. It's the impossible dream revisited.
And the fly ball to deep right, blanks to the track. It is gone. He has hit another one. Que viva Cuba. Viva Puig.
Rolling down Imperial Highway. The big nasty straight out of my side. Santa Ana winds blowing hot from the north. We were born to ride.
I didn't realize it had been 6 years since he retired. It seemed like that literally seems like yesterday. Like I thought
really?
Vince Scully, I remember thinking at the time that wow, he's sticking around too long, 76 years. He was the play-by-play guy for the Dodgers. That's
incredible.
Insane.
Incredible career. Incredible run. What can you say? Just an incredible guy. Great at what he did. Probably the best.
I think it's safe to say
not
he was
growing
a
up in
company
Los
guy.
Angeles. Growing up in Seattle, we had Dave Niehaus, and I'm sure that how I felt about Dave Niehaus growing up as a little kid, listening to the radio. My dad always had games on. I'm sure every LA fan feels like that times 10. I've not heard one person ever say anything ill towards Vince Scully. Only that he was the best.
The tributes coming in late last night on all the different social medias. I was like, oh, man. And, immediately I thought, because it does seem like it was just yesterday that he stepped down or stepped away from the booth in Los Angeles, Chavez Ravine. And I thought, man, that was his life. The Dodgers were his life. We've talked about this before with guys that are like the 60 Minutes correspondents come to mind. When they quit, they get really old. They pass away like within a year afterwards. So it's like that was their drive. That's what drove them. For him, hopefully, the last 6 years he's been able to enjoy life, the best that he could away from Dodger Stadium. But I guess when you work a job like that, it doesn't seem like you're going to work.
No, it doesn't. And you're not working all year round. I mean, you're working during the season. You're doing some here and there's in off season, but you get a lot of time off. I mean, what a great gig or a great career to have. But he was great at it, and there was a reason that he did it for so long. There, here's from 1965, Sandy Koufax. This is Sandy Koufax's perfect game. 1965. What were you doing in 1965? Oh, that's right.
Harvey Keene, one strike away. Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. A perfect game.
You can't stop hearing that stuff. It's so great. I mean, what a career! Congratulations.
You talked about Dave Niehaus and how important he was to the Seattle Mariners. I had a opportunity to sit in some kind of broadcast seminar type class in college, and Rick Riz, who was his color commentator and, currently the voice
play-by-play
of the
host, yeah.
Seattle Mariners. And he came in and talked with us, and he brought this huge book. I mean, this book, and it
was a binder, right?
To this
like
day,
a big, huge binder.
It was a binder, but it was not a binder. It was like an old, like you see old books that have like ribbons tied around them. And I think the reason why they tie the ribbons around them is because they keep adding pages and keep adding pages over time. And it's just this leather-bound book that was adjustable. You could figure out a way to fit more pages in there and bind them in there. And brings this big book. He sets it down on the podium. He points to it, and he says, "This is what I take with me to every single broadcast, so I know that I have enough information on the guys that I'm covering." And he went on.
Thank God today that could be a laptop, right? That could be a laptop today. It could weigh,
I'm sure it is.
Less than a pound.
I don't know.
These guys, I used to work with football guys, and they would have, it would look like a poster board, and they would have squares, and they would have every player that was going to be on the field that day, where they were from, a little something about them. It's amazing how these guys prep, because all they're doing is talking. You and I, we talk about stuff. We play a song. We got, whatever, but to fill time. But these guys, they're doing the whole thing.
Yeah,
and the amount of prep that went into it is impressive.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you do it for 67 years, when you're hit year 50, it's like driving a car. You think of how many times you zone out when you're driving a car, but you go to the ballpark 81 times a year.
Yeah, it's just because it's
and you do
naturally
162
there.
broadcasts, going on the road and stuff like that. It becomes old hat. And I truly think that Vin Scully was probably the best of all time. And I have no allegiance to the Dodgers or anything like that. I mean, I guess a case could be made for Harry Carey for the Cubs. But I mean, as far as Vin Scully is as loved by Dodgers fans as Kirk Gibson, as Sandy Koufax. I mean, he is as loved, if not more loved and cherished by Dodgers fans. So sorry for your loss, Dodgers fans, this morning. But, I mean, you can say that he's the best of all time. And I don't think, that given the current landscape of baseball and broadcasting and play-by-play guys and how their careers go, I don't think that will ever be matched. That's a record that's not going to be broken. 67 years with the team?
Yeah,
the same
and
team?
The other thing is it's different now. People, used to not be able to watch so many baseball games on TV or get them on. We didn't have satellite and cable necessarily through a lot of these years. People had a number of channels, and a lot of times people listened to games on the radio. And it was better to listen to a game on the radio. How many times as a kid, did you go to a Mariners game and then bring your headphones and listen to Dave Niehaus, who was our Vin Scully, call a game? I mean, how many Dodgers fans did the same thing? They would go to a Dodgers game and they would put on their headphones or their earbuds now, and then they would listen to Vin Scully.
Well, they would have to, because they would have to get caught up because they get there in the third inning and leave in the seventh inning.
You just couldn't help without taking a shot at a Dodgers fan. Could you not go 10 minutes? Jeez. Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.